Now we're going to talk about how you create meta descriptions and some best practices. A lot of what I'm going to say pretty much overlaps with what I mentioned in the title tag section. So as far as creating a meta description, there are various ways to do it, and it all really breaks down to your CMS, your content management system. So WordPress is an example of a CMS. It's a very popular content management system. So here, if you have the Yoast plugin, which I recommend for a lot of WordPress users, you can input the meta description right here. And it says right here, limited to 156 characters, which we'll go over in a second. But as I type this out, you can get a little glimpse of what the snippet looks like. And same as the title tag I mentioned, you can also do this in Screaming Frog. So as far as length goes, again, it depends on pixel width really, but if you want a good general rule of thumb, around 100 to 150 characters is a good rule of thumb when it comes to meta descriptions. That way it's not getting cut off. So this meta description right here currently has 151 character length. But if I keep typing, you can see right there is when it starts to get cut off. So when I type 159, or really maybe one before, 158. So if you stick to the 100 to 150 character length, then you'll be in good shape. It'll give you some wiggle room in case it goes too long. But as I said with the title tag, on a search results page, it's going to show up here, and you don't want it to go too long because it's pretty much useless because it's just going to get cut off. But you don't want it to be too short because you have a little bit more real estate to work with. Now again, like I said before, this is my opinion to maximize the level of real estate space. You could potentially get by with a short description like this. I mean, it's worked for this particular website. Now, again, there's many factors in play here, but if you want to do a short one-sentence description, then who am I to stop you? But when I'm writing meta descriptions, I usually try to go in the 100 to 150 character length. And the reason I opt to do a little bit longer descriptions is it gives me more potential keywords that I can use. So if I have a very short sentence, that's not a lot of words that can get found in search results. But if I have a longer description, then that's more words, more keywords that people are searching for, and more potential opportunities to get found. So some best practices on what the description should be. Well, you want to make it as enticing as possible because some people do read through the descriptions, and the whole aim of a meta description is for someone to read it and click to your website. So that should be your number one priority. The number two priority would be to try to stick in the keyword that you're targeting. So if you've done the keyword research and you wrote your title tag and you included a specific keyword, like how to tie a tie in the previous example, you would ideally like to have how to tie a tie in your meta description as well. Now, Google may or may not use that as part of their ranking factors, but it's just a good practice because, again, if I'm doing a search for how to tie a tie and I'm looking at the results, I'm more likely to click if it's in the title tag and it's in the description tag. And it has the added benefit of showing up in bold. So I'm doing a Google search for travel. In the meta description currently with Google, it's highlighted in bold. So that's why it's a good strategy to include your targeted keyword in the meta description. So those two things are really the big thing. Make it enticing, write a sentence or two that persuades people to go to your particular page and try to include your keywords somewhere in the page. I would just do it once. I wouldn't do it twice. So if you're targeting how to tie a tie, just include it once in the meta description. But make it enticing and get more visitors by writing good meta descriptions.